Hello, welcome back to madsxmaro. My name is Mary Rose, and today I want to talk to you guys about 10 pieces of advice that I would give to survive high school. And I am a high school senior currently. I'm applying to colleges. I just submitted some of my most important ones recently, and I was thinking about all the things I would have told myself, you know, as a freshman, sophomore, or even last year as a junior, and I wanted to share that advice with you guys because why not? This is how to survive high school with Mary Rose. So the first thing that I would tell you guys is to stay organized and basically write down assignments when you find out about them. Don't think that you will remember something when you get home, because you probably won't if you're like me. So have an agenda or use your phone if you're allowed to and make notes of assignments when they're due. Also use your calendar app to like have reminders for when things are due. Some assignments are due you know, like Friday at midnight, and you might forget because you're tired from the week. So make sure you have like notifications, or that you always check your planner and write things down. The second thing I would say is to prioritize classes. Say for example, like for me, I want to be a chemical engineer, so I need to prioritize my STEM classes. And I've always been naturally suited to like English, history, so it's easier for me to want to do that work, but I want to do STEM. So I would recommend that if you know a certain area that you want to go into, to focus your time and effort on those classes. At the classes that don't really matter to your future self, you only need to do good enough in, so don't over-focus or worry about those classes. The third thing I would say is to learn from failure and don't let it like permanently break you. I am a perfectionist a bit. I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at that, but especially going into sophomore year, classes started to get a lot harder for me, and it was really difficult to deal with like getting a 60 on a test, I remember, and like stuff like that, especially for those of you in online school. I can imagine that like grades can be kind of difficult right now. Okay, first of all, everyone fails. I know that that's common knowledge, but I don't think it's really common understanding, you know? And you are going to fail at something, whether it's, you know, academics or like sports or a test or whatever. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you right now, it's okay to fail. It's okay to let it hurt, to feel that pain. But then don't let it break you. Use it, either, you know, get angry or like frustrated, and use that frustration to like motivate you to work harder, or to just talk to your teacher or professor after class and get some help, or just explain to them what's going on and ask for help, you know, communicate to them. Let failure help you, don't let it break you. So piece of advice number 4 would be to remember what's important in high school. I know it can be kind of all-consuming when there's drama going on, or when you have a crush, or when you're trying to make friends and that kind of a thing, but I think it's also important to remember that high school is kind of here as a stepping stone to college. Always prioritize education over drama and social things like that weigh you down. Remember that like if you have drama going on with like a crush or your friends, or anything at school, look beyond high school. Things are much more important than you know, 10th grade drama or whatever. So make sure that you have a broad perspective. What's important is, you know, getting good grades or opening doors for yourself. You know, make sure you have opportunities for the future, either getting into colleges or you know, working on things that are important to you. So the 5th piece of advice I have for you guys would be to get super involved in the activities that you do in high school. If you are super into a certain sport like soccer, or if your thing like me is public speaking, do a lot in those clubs or that sport. Have leadership roles. This is something that looks really good to colleges, you know. It's good to be well-rounded within the things that you care about and the things that you're going to talk about on your college applications. Whatever takes up your time outside of school, make sure you're super involved with that and you have a lot of different roles in those activities. And that's kind of what well-rounded means right now, I think, in applying to colleges. It doesn't mean having a bunch of different leadership roles in different clubs if you're not also involved in those clubs or that sport. Get super involved in the activities that you choose. The sixth piece of advice I have for you guys would be to have a creative outlet. I didn't go into high school wanting to do a lot of like super rigorous classes, but I ended up doing that. You know, I kind of just like followed the path and like took the next level of class without really thinking like, is this the best idea? You know, I just kind of did that for every single class, and that's, you know, been really tough or like to manage, and also just like mental health and all of that kind of thing. So I think everyone needs to have a creative outlet. Even if you're not a super artistic person, that's fine. You know, I took up embroidery over quarantine, and that was really helpful with all the stress that was going on. Or, you know, even just like drawing or painting or like doing arts and crafts for fun. Or like doing a puzzle. I do puzzles all the time. I love puzzles. But have something to where you can just be creative. Maybe that's like fashion, you know, putting together outfits or making TikToks. Anything that helps you use your creative side, because, you know, you're so focused on doing well like academically, using that left side of your brain, and you don't want to neglect the right side, you know. Just something that excites you and that motivates you. I think also when you're excited about doing something outside of school, it motivates you to like work more efficiently at schoolwork and just the other things you have to do, because you want to get to that fun activity. So that's what I would recommend to help stay balanced and just like a healthy mindset. The seventh piece of advice I have for you guys to survive high school would be to take care of your physical health. And I think that means exercise and eating well, especially when you have, you know, like a certain week when there's so many tests to do, or, you know, finals and all of that kind of thing. It's super easy to just, you know, drink a bunch of caffeine and not exercise. But multiple studies have shown that when you have a stressful week is the very same time that you should be exercising and eating well. I mean, your body needs that. You can't neglect your physical health just to, you know, do well mentally. Just to take care of your physical and mental health as well, which I think could be done, you know, through multiple things like the creative outlet, or through things like meditation or reading a book. And the eighth thing I have for you guys would be to not do dumb things, okay? You can still have fun and hang out with friends and, you know, have a good high school experience without doing dumb things. Make sure that you use your common sense and don't do drugs, don't go to parties where you know things will be happening that you don't want to get involved in. Common sense is not always common practice, and I think that can be very apparent in high school. You know, especially if you're only a freshman or sophomore, you have so much time left that you need to focus and work hard. And I think that you should just remember to have fun, hang out with friends, do all of that kind of thing, you know, have human experiences. Just be smart, okay? Those are all the pieces of advice I have for you guys today. Keep going forward. You will fail at times in high school, but it will all be okay, I promise. I am a living example of that. I have failed so many times, but I'm still here, I'm still motivated, I still have tons of potential. I'm still gonna go to a good college, I promise. And yeah, just live your best life. I love you all. Adios, plebeians.